Does it work?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know.
Welcome to RNS Podcast. I'm Dylan.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm Evan.
Oh, very cool.
I had COVID.
Yeah, Evan had COVID. We rang in the new year with some COVID-19, and but now we're back. We had a little extra long.
Dylan, remember when you got COVID?
Yeah, I do.
When I gave it to you 2 days ago when you saw me.
Yeah.
That's a joke. That's a joke. Dylan does not have
That's
COVID.
why I've been feeling my insides kind of melting, but that's all right.
Well, no, that's just because I spiked your drink with bleach.
Oh, I see. So I think we're gonna make this episode in the emergency room. No, but today is epic, Evan, because guess what we're gonna talk about?
Yay!
Can you guess based on the movie that we watched earlier?
Shrek 3.
Shrek 3!
Not part 2. We can give part
Shrek
2.
the third?
No, Shrek 2.
Shrek 2, very
Shrek
cool.
the second. Why didn't they call it that?
Is this,
There is no subtitle.
outside of Spider-Man, this is the first sequel we've done, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
No, we did the Suicide Squad. I guess that's the sequel.
But we didn't do the first one.
Oh, yeah. You mean like doing part 1 and 2, then yeah.
Yeah, this is the first non-subsequent sequel we've covered.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we did this before Back to the Future or Battle Royale.
Well, I think Shrek 2 is better than both of those movies, honestly.
Then Back to the Future 2?
Yeah.
And Battle Royale 2?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
You don't agree?
Yeah, well, I was telling you recently, like, Back to the Future 2 I'm not as hot on anymore. Shrek 2 is amazing. It's pretty amazing. I remember, just watching it now is like, it's like that kid shit where it's way shorter than you remember, but it's still amazing.
But I have to say this. I used to like Shrek 2 more, but upon now that I've had rewatched both of them, I actually do like part 1 more, I think.
I think I might like part 1 better as well. Because they're both very short and very tight.
Yeah.
But the first one is kind of more universal. This one definitely... It's kind of like you can't really have this one without the first one, and it's a little muddier. But I definitely like the first one and the second one a lot.
I agree.
Cool. So, Evan, you want to get into Shrek 2? What's your most epic memory with Shrek 2?
Well, I do remember seeing it at a very young age in theaters. And we had it on DVD. The reason I like Shrek 2 so much, like, before more than part 1, because we had part 2 on DVD, and we didn't have 1. We had it on tape. On the VHS tape, but we never used the VHS by the time we had the DVD player, and so I would always watch Shrek 2. So like I have way more memories of watching Shrek 2. You know what I mean? And for that reason, I think I liked it more than part 1.
And there's a lot more flashy, like colorful shit going on in this one.
There's that, and also there's the aspect of the side characters, which I don't know. In my memory, I thought they were in it more, but they're not really. They're like in the beginning and then at the end.
Yeah, they just kind of watch the news and they come like, later.
But like when I was a kid, that part felt like way more epic. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I always like that aspect of it. So
yeah, it was weird rewatching it too, cause like the fucking giant Gingy cookie, like that shit comes out of nowhere.
Mongo.
Like it's funny and it's cool, and I like that part a lot. But it's like, because rewatching it now, I was like, I wonder like what instigates there being a giant cookie? Nothing.
They just go and get him.
Yeah, Shrek just has the idea like, a giant cookie could walk over this. The way the milk makes it fall apart always made me want a cookie when I was a little boy.
How about now?
And also, now especially.
Oh, okay.
Now especially, and also, I remember the part where Shrek wakes up and he's human and he's like surrounded by the sexy women.
That's fucking funny.
When I was a kid, that made me horny. I remember that. That made me so horny. That was awesome.
Yeah, I like how that one of the chicks is like, I'll be true to you. True enough.
That was pretty funny. Oh, we should talk about something. Do you remember any like racy jokes? There's one I wanted to mention.
There's a lot. Off the top of my head, I don't know. You go first.
The one I mentioned to you in the earlier, I texted you. What does it say? In the song the fairy godmother sings to Fiona when she first appears, she says, "For happily ever after." Oh wait, like they'll write your name on the bathroom wall for a happily ever after. Give Fiona a call. You can't say that. You can't say that in a DreamWorks animated kids movie.
Yeah, happy ending.
That's fucked up.
They said a lot of fucked up shit.
How did they get that by? That's crazy.
It's subtle enough, It's like, what does that mean?
Everyone knows what that means.
Not little kids.
Not little babies, but like the fucking executive that's like, are we gonna get fucking censored, like PG-13 if we say this? I'm very surprised that slipped through.
It's just not explicit enough, I think. That's the thing.
But to me, it's like, there's zero other ways to interpret that.
Well, how else can you interpret, happy ever after just in general? You know what I mean? We can get into a deeper conversation about fairy tales, okay? What do they mean, happy ever after?
I like the part when she throw the books, and she's like, Cinderella, no ogre. What does she say at the end?
What do you mean? She's all like, she's like,
it's all fairy
no
tales,
ogre.
and then she says like a modern movie at the end. I don't know. That was funny.
She said Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman, yeah. That one was funny.
Yeah.
The underwear, the Pinocchio underwear joke always disturbed me.
There's that one too.
That one's not even like, if you're a kid and you don't think about the lyrics, it's like going fast and everything,
Yeah.
so it like gets by you. But that one is like, Gingerbread Man like gives him a wedgie, like.
Yeah, he pulls it. He's like, he's wearing a thong. He says he's wearing a thong.
That's a good Gingy impression.
That's what he says. Oh
my goodness. One thing I didn't like though is I feel like the intro is a bit slow. The movie does pick up after they go to Far, Far Away, but
the opening of this movie is epic.
It's kind of epic when they're like, it's like Fiona and Shrek, like,
and they're playing the Counting Crows.
They've been getting along, and that song is epic, of course. But that part was a bit slow for me until they wind up getting to the kingdom.
I guess maybe it is a bit drawn out. Well, you just mean that like the whole opening of the movie, or just that intro?
Pretty much until you get to the kingdom.
Okay,
it's pretty slow for me. But then the rest of the movie just is like perfect. It goes by really quick.
Yeah, I agree.
Whereas in the first Shrek movie, it's weird. Like, well, I was gonna
say
this
one is longer than part one.
To finish my thought, as opposed to the first Shrek movie where it's like these are all you're actually being introduced to this shit for the first time. So it's like the only difference now is he's like with Fiona.
Yeah.
And he's like happy. But one thing that's weird though, why the fuck do these fairy tale creatures immediately want to sleep in Shrek's house? Like, there's no like threat anymore, or like Farquaad or anything.
Yeah,
like,
they just like it there.
They're just like immediately when Shrek's gone, they're like, "Yay, we get to stay here." I guess it's just like some little kid shit where it's like you're not allowed to do something.
Yeah,
and they immediately turn on music and start partying. I feel bad for Shrek.
The opening of Prince Charming is funny.
Oh
yeah,
he's
like going. I guess that's the very opening of the movie, right?
Yeah,
it's
like him narrating.
Yeah, like part one. And he shows up. It's the fucking the wolf.
Yeah, the gender confused wolf.
They say that she's like the gender confused wolf.
I love fucking Puss in Boots too in this movie.
Oh yeah, Puss in Boots is awesome.
Fucking Antonio Banderas, of course.
Oh, he's awesome.
Fantastic individual. His intro is pretty cool. It's like kind of scary. It's epic, right?
With his eyes and.
And I was thinking this, like the way when the king like puts on that weird shawl. Like the big cloak.
Yeah,
and he goes, that looks amazing. Like when he gets off the horse and like saunters into the bar, I was like, this looks dope.
It does. Oh, I guess when he's kind of going off that, the animation it's a lot better than part one, I think. Yeah.
Improvement. It's it's basically kind of like a Toy Story 1 to Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
Kind of like, it's a pretty big jump.
Or Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2.
Exactly.
The CGI.
Which those are even closer.
I think they're the same year, right?
2001, I think Shrek came out.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
But this one came out in 2004, didn't it?
Same year as Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Where there's a cool, also we should mention, the cool Spider-Man reference.
Something I didn't notice. You pointed it out to me.
Dilly mentioned it, because in the intro, when they're like running from mad, like Shrek and Fiona are running from mad villagers or whatever, and they string up Shrek in one of those cool like traps that strings you upside down. And he has mud on his face, and then Fiona kind of pulls the mud down, like Spider-Man's mask, and then kisses him. That's pretty epic, like specific Raimi reference.
Yeah, it is. It is. I didn't even notice that. Like, I guess I didn't put two and two in my head until you pointed that out to me.
You know what's funny is I was about to say, is there a Matrix reference in any of the Shrek movies?
There is in part one.
And this one too. She does the same thing.
Oh, like the freeze frame jumping there.
Yeah, she does the same thing. So, yeah, they're getting those cool 2000s pop culture references in there. I also noticed a cool Burger King logo. I like that. I like seeing the Burger King logo. It was kind of a funny sight gag. They don't really draw too much attention to it, but in the... sorry, we're jumping around all over the place. But just some cool jokes we liked, I guess. The giant gingerbread man... What's his name?
Mongo.
Yeah. I'm surprised you remember his fucking name. You played the Shrek 2 video game, I bet, and you just remember...
I did play the Shrek 2 video game. Not like... we can talk about that in a little bit, but I did play the Shrek 2 video game when I was a kid.
But yeah, he grabs a giant fake, like, marquee Starbucks cup. Like, it's like a big sign.
Oh yeah, it's called $4.
And he goes to drink from it, but it's like fake.
Is that when he does the Godzilla like growl?
I think so.
Oh no, that's when the button falls off of him.
And then
that's when he does it.
Right. Yeah. But all the patrons of that Starbucks run across the street into a neighboring Starbucks. It's right across the street. That was a pretty topical joke for like 2004.
Yeah, it was.
For Starbucks to be all over the place. That's
because I feel like that became more relevant a few years later.
Yeah, that became even more of like a hot joke in like 2006 or like after. So props to them for hopping on that cool joke. It was pretty funny. And that's still like a pretty relevant joke today because like whether it's Starbucks or like McDonald's or whatever, it's like they're on the same city block or whatever. There's two.
Well, when they're going to Hollywood, I would call it Hollywood because it's far, far away, but it's supposed to be like Hollywood. Yeah. It was funny when I went to Hollywood over the summer. Literally, that's what I thought about, that scene where they're pulling up, where, Funky Town playing, and they're going through Hollywood. I was like, yeah, when I pulled up there, that's literally what I always think about.
Yeah, because Andy and Maddie are Shrek and Fiona, so you're Donkey, and you felt like Donkey when you went. And I was Gingy because I was still at home watching you guys on TV.
It's weird. I always think of, like, Hollywood in, like, Shrek 2 terms, like, no joke.
Like that weird cartoony kind of way?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I could see that.
I don't know why, but I literally thought about that scene when we were walking out.
It's kind of one of the most like it's one of the most like caricaturized like cities in America.
Yeah,
it's definitely like it fits that kind of cartoony stereotype for a reason.
Yeah,
where it's like that. It's like a Simpsons joke or something. It's like it feels like the joke.
Like, yeah, pretty much.
There's a reason that kind of weird.
And honestly, it feels like pretty accurate. Like no joke, it does. Hollywood's a wacky place. For my brief time there, we were kind of talking about that the other day, but it's kind of wacky, so.
And I always for some reason, the first thing that came to mind. Well, first of all, the fairy godmother.
Yeah.
Is a great character.
Oh yeah, she is.
Hilarious.
Did she come back in the sequels? I know Prince Charming comes back in part 3. I don't think she does.
She might come back in part 4 or something.
In like the alternate universe or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember Prince Charming. He's like the villain in 3 though. He does come back.
He?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have King Arthur or whatever.
Yeah. There was a joke from part 3 that I thought was in 2. I realized it wasn't.
Oh, what joke?
If when Princess Fiona like teams up with the other princesses, I really thought that was in part 2.
Me too.
Yeah, right.
Wow,
but it's in 3. It's in 3.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah, I was thinking it was
like
in there.
Storming the castle.
Yeah,
and like, singing and shit. Yeah, that's
in
crazy.
3 though.
I thought that was wow. I didn't think about that till right now. Yeah. That's funny.
Because I was waiting for it. And I was like, does that not happen in this movie? I guess it must be part 3.
Right. That is crazy.
Because as soon as she becomes human in this, it pretty much goes right to the ball.
Yeah.
Right after she becomes human. And I didn't remember it happening that way. I don't know why. I was thinking there was that brief time during the day where she goes and sees the other princesses, but no, that's not. That's in part 3, I guess. But what happens in part 3 that she becomes human again?
I don't think she's human in that scene.
Is she not? See, it's so weird. Why do I remember it like that? That's weird.
I don't know. Probably because you saw Shrek 2 so much.
Maybe.
And then
yeah.
That's like a pretty
for a shitty movie, that's kind of a good scene in part 3. Because 3 isn't that good. So I melted it into 2.
And it gets your attention to that scene.
Yeah.
Whereas like the most of Shrek 3 I remember being kind of boring. But that scene is very like, oh, she's like fighting with like Cinderella and shit.
Oh, another little lead into part 3 though.
The kids?
No. Well, you do see the kids. Are they at the end of this one?
No, you see Donkey's kids.
Yeah, Donkey kids.
But there's a part where the king mentions like, or the
queen, them having.
They mention like, oh, are you gonna have kids?
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to mention that scene. I don't know if you had. Did you
really quick. Yeah. Just about part 3 again. So Justin Timberlake voices Arthur in part 3. And then remember when he's in Fiona's room, there's Sir Justin. Yeah, Sir Justin. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, oh, he does come back in part 3.
I really like that scene of Shrek like waking up being sad in Fiona's room and like looking around.
Yeah.
That's a good scene.
It is.
But what I was going to say, I love that scene though. They first meet the parents and they're kind of like, it's very awkward for both parties, and I really like the way they cut the dialogue back and forth.
Oh, this scene is great. Yeah, this scene is great.
When they're first approaching the castle, everyone's watching them.
Oh, I wasn't even talking. I think I meant during the dinner scene when they're both like he's destroying the crab, he's destroying the chicken, but it's similar to this. Yeah, I like that.
It continues throughout, like when they're basically Fiona and Shrek are talking, and the king and queen are talking like back and forth, trying to convince each other like, oh, it's gonna be okay, no, this is gonna be terrible, like back and forth, cutting back and forth between each conversation.
Yeah, I do like that scene
and
a lot.
That kind of continues into the next scene in the dinner scene because they're they're continuing to argue, and then like the king and Shrek are getting more and more violent as they're eating. That part is so good. It's like such a well displayed like cartoony version of like a real life kind of conflict.
Yeah. That motherfucker is so evil, Harold.
I know.
Throughout this movie, I kept thinking he's such a piece of shit.
And that part when so then they have the argument, and then Harold hires an assassin to kill Shrek.
Yeah, fucking Puss in Boots.
And he goes up to get Shrek to like lure him out to get killed. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Jesus." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. About how dinner went and everything. Yeah. Like, why don't you meet me to go hunting out in the woods?"
Yeah.
And he's like setting him to get killed. And then that scene, I was like, damn, like, it just breaks your heart because it almost like feels like a nice moment. And then it's like, well,
wait, no, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit and he wants to kill him. But it does humanize him. The ending does humanize him a lot more because it comes from, you realize it comes from a place of experience.
Yeah. Not
that it's like the right thing to do, but if he was just like a random like just human guy, he would be like so fucking evil. But the fact that he has to deal with kind of the same thing that Shrek and Fiona do, but he's just much more ashamed of it. And he didn't have anyone to like help him through it really. Like his wife did seem like really supportive, so maybe she would have, but he never like, he was too like sensitive to
That was always did she not know like this whole time that he was a frog?
I guess no, because the part where,
or is he like cursed to be a frog, or was he born a frog? Like, how does it work?
I think the ending indicates she didn't know.
That's what I thought too.
There's that part early on when she's like, "Remember our first kiss? Like, remember how crazy we were when we were lovers?
Yeah.
Like, our first kiss by the lily pond? Like, that sounds like such an overt reference to him being a frog."
Yeah. And like, also, there's earlier, before we find out he's a fucking frog, remember he sees like the lady frog in the bar? Then what did she say to him?
Because she's like, "Hey, do I know you?" And
yeah.
And he's like, "You must be confusing me for someone else."
Yeah, so she must have actually known. That's something I just put in my head just now. I'm like, oh, that was probably very deliberate right there.
There really is kind of like three, like kind of foreshadowing things to like the king, because it's what we just mentioned about the frog that recognizes him, and then there's the thing about the lily pond that the wife mentioned.
Yeah.
And then there's also like, we of course know that the fairy godmother has something on him.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, well, I think I helped you once, so I'm gonna undo it if you don't help me."
Yeah.
And then of course at the end we realize it's because he's a fucking frog.
It's funny as fuck. When she comes and picks him up that night before he goes to hire him, it's like some mafia shit.
And that's cool too.
He's like, get in the car with the enforcers.
That's her reveal as a villain.
Yeah. That's a great scene.
She has that scene we were mentioning where the fairy godmother senses Fiona crying. Or whatever, or she was probably stalking her because she's trying to set her up with the son.
Yeah,
who's charming. But either way, she shows up and as the audience, you're like, "Oh, well, fairy godmother, whatever."
Yeah.
And then but there's the element of like her business card. It's like, you're probably slimy if you have a business card and you're a fairy godmother, but all you know is like she's a fairy godmother. She fucks off when she realizes she isn't needed. But then she pulls up like a mafia boss and she's like, "I need something from you, Harold." Like, it's such a cool, funny reveal for a villain.
That scene when she's like, I forgot what she said. She's like, I forgot what exactly she is leading to when you find out they're actually at like the fast food drive-thru. That was always funny as fuck to me.
Yeah, basically it pulls up and the angle is like they're clearly flying through the sky, and she's like, "You're gonna make me have to do something I don't want to do, Harold." And then she's like, "I'm gonna have to order fast food. I'm really stressed."
That was funny. And the kids' meal is like he puts on the crown like Birkin. That was funny.
That shit made me hungry.
Yeah, for real.
It was epic.
But he goes and hires Puss in Boots after that. Can we talk about Puss in Boots? His reveal scene, I guess, or his intro. I mean, not besides in the bar. Like when we actually see him, when he
his cat reveal.
Yeah, when he comes to kill a fucking Shrek. This scene is honestly, it's never been great to me. Because like, I feel like Puss in Boots just turns good like way too easy. Yeah, they don't even really have a fight. Like he attacks Shrek a little bit, and then he's like, "Oh, hairball, oh my bad," and then
I think
it's never been great to me.
He assumes that since he was vulnerable, like when he was having the hairball, he's like, "Oh, well, Shrek, you spared my life."
Yeah,
because you could have killed me when I was having a hairball, I guess.
Yeah,
that's the only way I can justify it.
It's like, I feel like they hype up Puss in Boots a little too much for it to be over that quick. You know what I mean?
They do hype him up a lot.
Yeah.
Because he's, like, really fucking cool in that.
Yeah.
In, like, his first, like, tease kind of scene where he gets hired.
Because they're like, oh, only one person can kill ogres or whatever. So it's like, you assume he's actually done it before. Like, he has experience.
Yeah, and then he has, like, his like, eyes are in the shadows.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, your payment, I will check your payment. And he like swipes it open and it's like he checks it's real gold and shit and he's like, you have hired your pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really fucking cool intro, and then like there's no payoff.
Yeah,
there's kind
even
of
when I was a kid, it was never that great to me.
There's kind of a payoff though.
Well, when is it?
That part at the end when he was like, your woman needs you.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
then he has like an epic like Jason Momoa Dune like scene.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying like he's not a badass, but like it just feels like hyping him up to kill Shrek, and he got paid and everything. It just ends like way too quick. You know what I mean?
The actual next scene with Puss in Boots should have been cooler.
Yeah,
where like he
they should have had some kind of fight, I guess, or something.
Yeah,
and they don't really.
Yeah,
which I don't know. Like I said, even as a kid, that was never great to me. I don't know why they did it.
Yeah.
It's actually okay. I can bring up the video game. It's way cooler in the video game. Actually,
there's like a moment in the video game.
It's like in that part, Puss in Boots scene, you actually have like a boss battle with him, and it's like. Oh, the Shrek 2 video game is cool as fuck because it's like 4-player, and you can play as like the other character. Like you can play as Gingy, like Pinocchio, Puss in Boots later after you unlock him. It's like 4-player. But in that scene, it's like a quick time event battle you have with Puss in Boots. So I don't know. I always thought that was cool.
That is pretty epic.
Yeah, but it's nothing like that in the movie, obviously.
That is pretty epic. But yeah, it's a little subpar.
And it was hard as fuck too. I could never beat it.
Really?
Yeah.
Shrek 2. I really like the. I do really like though how he becomes friends with Shrek.
Yeah, me too.
They're quick friends, and he's like, "Oh, I owe you my life," and then Donkey's jealous.
That's so fucking funny. I always thought it was funny when he's like whispering in Shrek's ear.
They look back at Donkey and they're laughing. It is funny. Can't relate.
Me either. No, I can't. Definitely can't. Shrek 2. No, I also like the next scene though after this. So. I do like that they start having some repertoire. I like Puss in Boots as a character. I like him being like the third.
It does fit.
Yeah, it works.
It does fit. And did you know that he was a fairy tale character?
I guess not. Like I don't think I was aware of him before Shrek really, because I feel like he's not really that famous. But
no, he's
not. It makes sense that he is.
There was something I saw recently where someone was like, "I always thought DreamWorks made up Puss in Boots. I didn't know he was a fairy tale character." But I was like. I always, as a kid...
I assumed he was,
Yeah, I was like, everyone else is a fake...
Yeah.
Like, not fake. Everyone else is like a parody of a real thing, so it's like...
No, I never thought it was made for the movie, but I don't think I was really that aware of him.
Yeah, I wasn't
before.
familiar with the actual story, whatever it is.
Yeah. It's probably not... He's probably just a character in some other story or something like that. Then the next scene though I really like a lot when they go to the potion factory.
Oh yeah.
To meet the fairy godmother.
You know what's funny is I'm actually very fucking familiar with that scene.
Why?
More than maybe almost any other scene in cinematic history.
Why is this?
Because I had a 3D animation class. And did I tell you about this?
No.
Yeah, I had a 3D animation class in high school, and they were teaching us how to do storyboards. So they were like, pick a scene from a movie and do a storyboard of it. So I had to watch that scene like, I don't know, like dozens of times because I had to like draw and write like the storyboard for that scene. Like you had to like reverse.
You should have chose something easier. That's kind of hard.
Well, because I wanted to draw.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. So I did have fun making it, but I'm very fucking familiar with that part.
Yeah.
Especially like I did the action scene. Like
when they're like escaping later.
Yeah, specifically that bit.
Oh, that's cool.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. But I'm very familiar with that fucking scene.
The beginning of it is hilarious to me when he's like, "Yeah, we're part of the union" or whatever.
Yeah,
and he turns away the mic, the elf or whatever.
And he's like, you know what? It's not that great.
He said, "We don't even have dental."
Yeah, and I love the way Shrek is like, they don't even have dental. And he like looks disapprovingly like a donkey. He's like ashamed of the fairy godmother business or whatever. That part's really funny, and it's like he just like so instantly gets the guy on his side to like let him in. I like that part a lot. And I like the part where like Puss in Boots is scaling the little thing.
Yeah, he's reading all the shitty potions.
Yeah, the shitty potions. He's just reading like real. He's like alkaline and like real chemicals and shit.
Yeah. More like 2000s movies references. There's one here when Puss in Boots after they find the happily ever after spell, they do the Mission Impossible.
The cutting the glass.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, because then there's another one later with Pinocchio.
Yeah.
They lower him down, like...
I think, don't they actually play the Mission Impossible music when he does that? Yeah.
I think they do.
But anyways, like, instead the laser uses his claw to, like, break into the thing. I always thought it was stupid, though, how he couldn't pull it out. It's like, why didn't you just make a bigger hole?
Yeah.
But whatever.
True.
It's not a big deal.
But then after that, he's, like, panicking, so that can make sense. And then all the guards are coming in. It's, like, so stupid when Donkey is, like... It's funny, but it's so stupid. Because Donkey is just, like, holding the door open backwards, and he's like, I'm so smart. Donkeys are the smartest characters? And then, like, all the people just notice. They're like, hey, there are people in there.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Oh yeah, before that though, they actually do talk to the fairy godmother, right? I think because at first he just asks her like, "Oh, can I have can you make a spell for me to make Fiona happy?"
Yeah.
Right. I think that was what happens, right?
Yeah. And
then she's like, "No," because she wants her son to get with him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, well, we're leaving," and then he steals the outfit.
Oh yeah.
I always thought that was funny. Like, it's so stupid. Like, the way those little characters are shaped. Like, they're shaped so stupidly. Like. They're shaped like Patrick with human hands.
Pretty much. What are they? Are they elves?
They're just little fucking characters.
I guess they're elves, right?
No, because like if you look at them, they have human heads, but they're shaped like Patrick, and they have like human hands. So they're like nothing. Like
That's weird.
Yeah, they're weird. Like they're little homunculuses she made, like Oompa Loompas to like service her. But I always thought it was funny that Shrek just like puts the whole suit around his head.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey, like how's your
It's funny to me that nobody notices.
Yeah.
That's funny to me. But after they bring out the spell, you got that epic as fuck action scene.
Very epic. Very epic.
I feel like it's kind of the equivalent for part 2 of part 1, them escaping from Dragon. Yeah, that's what I feel like they're doing with this one. And I don't know, I just like it.
Oh, one part I do like too is Donkey says, he's got a piece! Like he has a gun.
Who did he say that about?
He says that about Puss in Boots when he first appears.
Oh, does he?
He's like, Shrek, he's got a piece! That was funny.
Is it when he pulls out his sword?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was funny. I do like the way the Shrek and his little band of misfits, they're escaping the potion factory, and like the big vat of like toxic chemicals, like it like changes everyone randomly into different shit. I always thought that was cool.
It's like I guess it's supposed to be like a nuclear factory or something like that, right? Yeah.
And it's just like, since it's on, I don't even know.
They all turn into the doves.
But it's like
or most of them do.
Some of them do.
Yeah.
But like there's like fish that swans. There's swans that turn into like Swan Lake, like ballerinas.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's like the idea is like it's unstable.
Yeah.
So it's like a random batch of just like potion material. So it just like does random shit.
Yeah.
I always thought that was kind of cool.
I feel bad for them though. I'm like, do they ever return back to normal? Yeah.
Yeah, because then
they keep working for her afterwards.
When the fairy godmother comes back out, she's like, "Clean this up now!" And they're all just like still birds, like just doing their job. I remember thinking as a kid, like, how are they gonna? Because she's like, "I don't care. Like, I don't care what did this. Just clean it up." And I always remember thinking, like, they're birds. Like, how do they clean it up?
I feel bad for them. Genuinely, I'm like, But yeah, after this, I guess they go to drink the potion, and they assume it doesn't work. The happily ever after one, yeah, And then they wake up, and Shrek is a fucking human. Human Shrek can become kind of a meme.
Yeah.
I see a lot. They would compare Ugly Dude to Human Shrek, which is fucked up and weird because in the movie he's considered handsome.
Yeah, he's considered extremely handsome. Well, it's because he's so burly and manly.
Yeah, but I feel like people will be like, oh, he looks like Human Shrek. Like, I've seen that meme a lot. Right. Yeah, I know, it's fucked up. But in the movie, he's handsome. Those 3 chicks, they just show up. I like how the clothes are, like, too big on him. And Donkey's like, we gotta get rid of those clothes. And Donkey's a horse now, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Donkey's a cool stallion.
Yeah. I think we mentioned that in part 1. Kind of like, how there's some payoff.
Yeah, because
for like Donkey being the shitty steed.
Yeah,
they're like, it comes back in part 2. But anyways,
and they get to be like the goat versions of themselves.
Yeah,
like it's interesting because like in the first movie they're like, it's like the valiant steed or like the valiant sidekick and the hero, but they're like shitty.
Yeah,
and then in this one they become the literal like the perfect versions of that. And it's kind of clever the way they like fake Prince Charming being the human Shrek. But like Fiona doesn't fall for it. That's pretty clever.
I like when she's like, "What happened to your voice?"
Yeah. And then he it's funny to me when he's like, I hate acting like that disgusting ogre.
He's done nothing.
Dude, you never tried. You never even attempted to act like Shrek.
Can I ask you a little fun question?
Yeah, sure.
So before they turn to human in the deed, Donkey's like, no, I'm going to test the potion for you. Remember Puss in Boots originally going to test it out?
Are you going to ask me what he would have...
Yeah, what would have happened to Puss in Boots if he drank that?
Either he would have been already perfect and sexy enough, Antonio Banderas, or maybe he would have turned into a cheetah. Or like a lion.
Maybe he would have turned to like fucking Zorro or something.
A human Zorro?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Because he's supposed to be kind of like Zorro, in Shrek at least.
Yeah, he's pretty much kind of like Zorro.
Because he even does the...
He does the P like the Z.
Yeah. That ain't P, bro.
That ain't P, bro. That ain't Puss, bro.
Yeah, maybe he would have turned into like fucking Zorro.
I think he would have turned into like a lion.
Maybe, yeah, something like that. That makes sense too. I don't know.
But also, it's like maybe there's an element of like you turn in what you want to turn into.
Yeah.
Because like Shrek was an ogre, which is like humanoid. So it makes sense that he would turn into a human if he wanted to. I don't know. But I assume he would have turned into an animal.
Yeah. Also, him kind of already being mixed up in the whole saving the princess fairy tale, it kind of naturally leads him to be like, well, the perfect version of this is if you were literally a human. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you were like a big handsome guy and then your donkey was a horse.
Yeah, it's like Puss in Boots. It's like, I don't know. He's already kind of his best self. He's his best self already.
He is his best self.
But wait, no. But we forgot the lesson in the movie. So are Shrek and Donkey. They were already there. They didn't need to change. They were already...
Well, see, that's why...
they were already their best self.
Not Shrek. Puss in Boots didn't even need that lesson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's actually facts. Yeah. The only reason he wanted to try it was just for Shrek, like... for his safety. Yeah.
But yeah, fucking really cool characters, really epic characters.
So what's after they turn human into the... They go back to far away. I like this scene a lot.
Do they go back to the bar?
No, not yet. They go back he goes to find Fiona, because Fiona wakes up as a human also.
Right.
Because it's like the person, if they drink the spell, the person they're in love with or whatever also gets involved.
Yeah, which is very convenient.
Yeah, I know, right? Did Dragon change? We don't know. We'll never know. Because Dragon's not in the movie at all.
I need to look up Rule 34 of like fan art of the dragon as a human woman. That sounds good. I like that. The baby dragon donkeys are the most disgusting fucking thing I've ever heard. And literally donkeys, I don't remember Donkey saying this, but he's like, look at my mutant babies!
Does he say that?
He says mutant. I was like, Jesus.
They are mutants.
That's evil.
But, I like this scene.
Wait, at the end, I'm sorry. I'm not going to remember this later. Oh, because that was like the end credits.
Yeah.
That wasn't even the end of the movie, it's the end credits. And he says, like, the last thing he says, he's like, I need a job. Because he has kids now. I thought that was funny as fuck. I'm sorry, go ahead with your cool...
Oh, I was going to say,
scene.
I like that scene when, like, the David Bowie cover playing changes.
Oh, yeah.
And he's looking for Fiona. I don't know, I like that scene. Yeah. That was a good one.
Can't sing that for too long, or we'll get fired.
Well, yeah, you're going to get copyright.
Exactly.
We don't need any more strikes on our channel.
Yeah, we already have 11 strikes.
Yeah, so... yeah, I like that scene. I guess he finds the fairy godmother at that point, right?
Well, yeah, he goes... I don't know why they go to the bar.
That's later. That's after he's like, you know what? She should be with Prince Charming.
Oh, they just go to drink.
Yeah,
don't they?
yeah.
And then they notice the king.
Yeah.
Right, that's what happens. And they're like, there's no like reservations about them drinking. Like, there's no implication that it's like, oh, here's some milk. Like, they're drinking.
They do say milk. They are drinking milk.
For Puss.
I think they're all drinking milk. No, or at least he was.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I might be wrong.
I don't think they explicitly say, like, oh, this is alcohol, though.
But they don't, like, in a lot of kids' movies, they would go out of their way to be like, here's your chocolate milk.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But there definitely is milk, at least for Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
That's what they did. Oh, I wanted to say earlier, though, before that scene, when there's, like, the mix-up, and she's led to believe that Prince Charming is Shrek, even though that's not the case. And Shrek is, like, in the other room. He's like, Fiona, screaming.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny as fuck, like, you remember earlier in the movie, she brought back to life, like, the shelf and stuff like that, like, on that Beauty and the Beast shit.
Furniture.
Yeah, the furniture is... It's funny when the shelf, like, blocks the door. He's like, you ain't going anywhere, pretty boy.
That is funny. That reminds me of the telephone in Toy Story 3.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
You're not going... Like, what does he say in Toy Story 3, the phone?
Get rid of that monkey.
Get rid of that monkey. Yeah. Something like that.
But yeah, so after that, he's like, oh, I guess... From his perspective, he thinks, like, oh, Fiona should fall in love with Prince Charming. Yeah. Like, she doesn't even know that he doesn't know that she's being led to believe that this is Shrek.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, she's not even happy with it anyway, but... from his point of view, that's what he thinks is happening. It kind of, in a way, kind of like part one, and that because they had the mix up,
misunderstanding,
yeah,
kind of aspect, which usually I really don't like that in most movies, but I think here it works because it doesn't make. They don't have to make Fiona the bad guy. They don't have to make Shrek the bad guy. It's just like, the misunderstanding works, and it's like it gives Shrek a way to deal with his thoughts of oh, maybe there's a part of her that wants a human life.
Yeah. No, it's just we were talking about it. It's like I didn't even realize. I think 2 almost has like the same exact plot format as like format's not the right word. I don't know. I guess structure. Yeah, it has like the same exact structure and hits like almost the same story beats as part 1.
Yeah, because even we were saying
I didn't even think about them escaping from the
dungeon set piece.
Yeah,
like an escape. They both have an escape set piece.
Yeah, and then when they meet Puss in Boots walking through the woods, that kind of like when they're walking through the valley until the
into the valley.
They had that little quest. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's very similar. And then Shrek interrupting at the end. It's the same as part 1. Yeah, I'm like, I didn't even realize it has the same exact.
But they do give you like, of course, the themes are different.
Yeah,
so I think it works.
It's like similar. It's kind of a build off of the theme of part 1, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more of a parallel than like a lazy just reusing the same thing.
No, I think it's fine. It works. I'm not. I never thought about it that way. It's like, oh, they almost have like the same exact beats. Structure. Yeah.
I mean, because even in the opening, there's still an element of him wanting to be alone and like wanting his swamp.
It's just now Fiona's there.
And then they do the whole want, like, you know how they do the whole want versus need thing in writing and like story structure or whatever. Shrek's want, both times he goes to like a castle or whatever, like gets the thing he thinks he wants or whatever, and then does an escape scene. Whereas like in this movie it's like to become human with the potion. Yeah. And in the other movie it's like to get the princess to get a swamp back. And then through that new discovery he learns something.
He does.
Doesn't he?
Well, I said, it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And I think also the fact that the movies are like supposed to be like fairy tales. A lot of fairy tales are exactly the same. You know what I mean? So it's like in that aspect it kind of works too, I think.
Yeah, I think it works in a lot of ways. I can't fault it really. There's nothing in the story structure that actually like bothers me where I'm like, oh, that's lazy or that's bad. It's
no. I just never really thought about it like that until just now. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of almost the same.
Yeah, but that's true.
So where were we at? Oh, I guess he goes to the bar. Shrek, Donkey, and Puss in Boots. They go to the bar.
They go to get a little drink.
Yeah, and then the king comes in, and I guess he's having doubts about it. Or he realizes Fiona is not happy.
Yeah.
It's not the results he wanted. So he's like, can we just cut this off? I guess basically that's what he's
yeah, he's like, I don't want to do this no more.
It's funny, that's the scene though where Prince Charming's like,
he's like, so hard being this fucking ogre is so exhausting. I was like, dude, what? She literally isn't even buying it. Like, you're not even trying. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it is.
And then they're eavesdropping, and then Shrek figures out the whole gimmick. He knows what's going on now.
Yeah.
He listens to the fairy godmother, and yeah, the king thinks that's much more of a low key spot than he
it is.
Like,
oh, and that's when they get caught.
Yeah.
I forgot what was the reveal that she was like. It's fucking Donkey who gets him caught because he says something, but I forgot what the reveal was.
Yeah, because Donkey's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah. I forgot exactly what it was. Was it them thinking that was it that she thinks Prince Charming is Shrek? I think that was it.
Yeah.
That might have been it.
Yeah, or it might have been. It was the thing about.
Oh no! It was that the fairy godmother was his mother. He's like mother. Yeah. That was it. It is kind of strange that she's his mom, but
it is weird. And it is also weird that, like, as a kid, I never really thought about it, but in the part, when, sorry to rewind it back for a moment, the part, which I really like, we didn't talk about it, but the part where Shrek's, like, sad, like, looking through Fiona's stuff, and then he looks through the diary, and he gets to the end of the diary, and it's basically just her writing.
Prince Charming.
Yeah, or Miss Fiona Charming.
Yeah, Miss Fiona Charming,
She, like, writes her name changed with his name. I never thought about it as a kid, because I always thought about it as, like, she wants a Prince Charming. Yeah. But then, if you think about it, it's like, that's a literal character, though, in this franchise. So it's like, she was being groomed to be with him since she was, like, 8 or whatever. Since she was a kid. I never thought about that as a kid. I always assumed it was like, oh, she wants a prince. And that's just, like, whatever. But no, like, she's being groomed.
Yeah.
And also, the dad mentions it too. She's like, well, I wanted her to choose the prince that we were setting her up with.
Yeah.
And then that's also connected to, like...
And also him just showing up. Him showing up to save her at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
That was always the plan, I guess.
Yeah, it was always the plan in exchange for the frog thing.
That makes me think, what would have been their reaction, though, if she had gotten with Farquaad? That's interesting. What would their reaction be to that?
I think, honestly, because if she had gone with Farquaad, because she wouldn't have been happy, so, like, the king would have hired Puss in Boots to just kill Farquaad.
So it would have been the same.
Yeah. That's an interesting alternate universe.
Yeah, I know, right?
Where Shrek just, like, isn't there, like, he doesn't meet Donkey or something. Yeah. Epic alternate universe Shrek. Yeah.
But anyways, so I like this part too. This is when they bring back the side characters. They see, like, it's so two, like, cops, and you see them getting...
When I was a kid, I thought that was the most fucked up, brutal thing I'd ever seen.
This scene is fucked. Donkey's like, police brutality when they have... He said police brutality when they have... I was like, the fact that they actually said that, it kind of, I was like, oh shit.
That's pretty real.
Yeah.
And also,
Puss in Boots with the catnip.
Yeah.
And so she like, he said, that's not mine.
And they pepper spray him.
Yeah,
that's They like
that literal, like, the pepper shakers
or grinder to, like, grind pepper in his head. That scene is really funny.
It is, yeah.
And but especially as a kid, I was like, this is like race. This is like racy. This is crazy.
It is.
And what do they have on before that? They do another bit.
They're watching the ball, I think, right?
Don't they do another bit other than those two? No?
I can't remember what they're watching at first. I think they're watching, like, the ball, right?
I guess they're watching, it's like an E-Entertainment. Like,
parody,
and then it's just, like, cops.
And it's like Joan Rivers. The Joan Rivers.
Like the fake Joan Rivers, yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, I like when the fucking, like, Hansel and Gretel, like, throw the breadcrumbs on the red carpet, and then a guy comes to sweep them up, and they accidentally sweep up the, like,
Thumbelina or whatever.
Yeah. And they just scream, and they never come back.
I was going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, that was funny.
I like that one.
So, yeah, well, Gingy, Pinocchio, all of them, the goats, they come and save.
Oh, yeah, so they're like, damn, they're in jail.
Yeah, because...
So, I mean, they were, like, freeloading on Shrek.
Yeah.
But at least they're real ones. They came and saved them.
They do.
That's pretty epic. So, yeah, they do a cool Mission Impossible breakout. They do, of course, the classic Pinocchio underwear joke.
I thought it was funny. You remember they're gonna light the dynamite to, like, break open the vent or whatever.
The rat falls.
Yeah, one of the blind mice. He's about to do, and he falls in. And Puss in Boots almost murders him later too.
Oh yeah, he tries to consume him. Yeah. So yeah, there's a cute little breakout, and then it's pretty much they just go save the princess, right? Yeah. Which that is one of the most epic scenes I've ever seen in my life. That song.
Oh yeah, was it Holding Out for a Hero? Yeah.
Classic scene.
And he's riding on Mongo because they go to meet the Muffin Man, and he makes the Mongo for them. It
gives me fucking chills every time.
It does. That scene is epic as fuck. Can I tell a little story about this song? Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good.
Thank you.
Little rendition.
I was practicing.
The other night, we were playing Clone Hero.
Oh hell yeah!
And we were playing that song on it.
Yeah, and they had cool visuals in the background.
And it was the scene of that.
Oh, that was fun as fuck. Yeah.
It's funny when we saw Human Shrek pop up on Mongo, we were like, "Yo!" Like it was No Way Home.
It's so fucking devastating when Mongo, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
He falls in the river, and then like Gingy like immediately jumps onto him, and then right when the water's about to consume like all of Mongo. And then it's about to start, like, getting Gingy, too. Like, Puss in Boots, like, snatches him out of the water and saves him. And then he's like, no, put me back! That
was a good-ass impression.
Thank you.
Mongo's a real one. They all came through in this scene.
But it was just, like, that's so, like, human.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, put me back in the water! I want to be with him.
I guess he lives, though. You see him singing at the end.
He does sing at the end.
There's something about this scene that disturbed me, though.
What?
His fucking mouth.
Gingy's mouth?
No, not Mongo's mouth.
Why?
Well, they have the same mouth, but
Yeah,
for Mongo's. I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, that looks like an asshole. I was like, that's disturbing.
Well, I was wondering, too.
Like he makes it like the big O, and I'm like, that looks like a fucking
Gingy
rectum.
Gingy tries to eat, like, chicken wings earlier when they're watching TV, and I was like, how the fuck? Like... And then, of course, Mongo too, like, tries to drink coffee.
Yeah.
It's like, where is that going? I don't know. They just absorb
Their anatomy is disturbing.
They absorb it into their cookie body. I don't know.
Their anatomy is very disturbing.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It is pretty scary. Nothing gumdrop buttons. That's so epic.
But yeah, so then they go.
I'm sorry.
No. Of course.
It is so. It's just like some masterful writing that you can make me so attached to one character that he just has like 1 minute of screen time.
Who, Gingy? Oh, Mongo.
And he's just so epic.
I know, it makes you cry. So yeah, after this, they break into the ball.
And they have the classic.
Oh yeah, Prince Charming. I guess he kind of he seduced her a bit because he's like, oh yeah, I can dance.
Maybe a little bit.
Well, she was about to kiss him there. She liked the dancing at least. She didn't like anything else.
Well, no, because she stops him because he has the rose in his mouth and he throws it away.
Yeah.
And then she to stop him from kissing her, she puts it back in her mouth.
No, not in this part. They're about to kiss and then Shrek breaks in.
Oh.
Yeah, when he's like holding her down.
Well, yeah, because I feel like there's only so many times that she could like dodge it.
Yeah.
Where it's like eventually you just have to do it in front of everybody.
Yeah. There's something funnier though earlier in this scene, just to mention how he's not acting like Shrek at all. If when Harold is like, "Oh, we have to go to the ball or whatever," and she's like, "Where's the husband?" And she's like, "This is not Shrek." And then you see him on the red carpet like posing and stuff.
Yeah, he's like flexing.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm working the crowd." Like it. Bitch.
That's funny. But yeah, this Shrek breaks in. Oh, sorry.
There's one funny part too where they're like planning that part, like kind of their like wedding party or whatever they call it. Because they already had their wedding, but I guess it's like a wedding like party reception thing. I don't know. And the king is like,
it's like when you go home. Like, if you're, like, from a different country and you go home, you know what I mean?
Or it's like, yeah, I mean, like, it makes
after
sense.
After the wedding, yeah, to like, have a party with your extended family or whatever.
Yeah, like, your parents missed your wedding,
yeah.
So I guess you're going to do, like, an extra thing for them.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
It makes sense, but I don't know what the fuck to call it.
Yeah.
But their wedding, essentially. They're planning that, and then the mom is like, oh, do we pick these curtains or these curtains? And he's like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then after that, like, he's like, she's like, oh, well, we need to get ready, Harold, for their reception or whatever. And he's like, how do we even know there's going to be?
Yeah.
Because he just, and then.
That was when he thinks Shrek's about to be murdered.
He thought Shrek was dead.
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
Because, that, like, earlier that, like, day, they were like, oh, like, Fiona's like, oh, where's Shrek? I can't find him.
Yeah.
And then he like, the dad is like, oh, fuck, like, he's dead. Like, he got killed. And then, right after, he's like, how do we even know there's gonna be a wedding? Then Fiona comes out, like, looking, like, worried as fuck, and he's like, oh, I have to go. Like,
yeah.
That just felt so real, like...
It did.
Like, he didn't want to face his daughter.
He's shameful as fuck.
He had his fucking, like, son-in-law killed.
Yeah, he's shameful
That's
as
dark.
fuck. It is.
I never really thought about how dark that is, that he has, like, Shrek killed in this. That's disturbing.
He thought it would make his daughter happy. But little does he realize, he's just a shameful motherfucker.
He's a twisted, demented psychopath.
He is.
Yeah. What a mixed up, twisted guy.
He does kind of pay for it a bit.
He does.
The fact that he has to revert back to his original form.
He pays for it, but then his wife still likes him and
yeah.
stuff. And he dies in the next movie, right?
He does,
I think it's the next one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they had the scene in part 3 where it's like, you think he dies like 3 times or whatever.
That is funny. That is funny. I do like the joke when he gets zapped by the fairy godmother. Oh, and
they think he was fucking disintegrated.
Yeah, and like, Gingy's like, oh, he croaked, and then he literally croaks because he's a frog. Cool joke.
Yeah.
But also, I like the idea that, like, because, you know, the way the fairy godmother dies, she shoots Harold with, like, a magic beam.
Yeah,
And then Harold turns
back.
It
bounces off the armor.
And it bounces off the armor. I like the idea that he's wearing, like, magic-proof vest.
Yeah, I'm just going to choose to read it that way, too, yeah.
Me too, yeah. Like, he's wearing, like, a magic-proof vest, like, just in case, you know, she comes for him.
Yeah.
So that was cool and funny, and it's just very epic, the ending, and especially that whole...
Yeah, not too much happens after Shrek pulls up. He's just like, no, I'm Shrek. And she's like, oh, Shrek, you're alive. And then she trying to kill them.
She dies.
And then Harold saves the day. Yeah, not too much else happened.
It is a bit anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Because it was really just like the whole chase of them, like, breaking in was kind of
the Mongo thing.
The whole gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't, like, a big fight or anything.
But like you said, you do get that cool Puss in Boots scene, though. With the rest of the guards. Yeah,
so
we didn't talk
about exactly like Dune.
Yeah. Like Dune with Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah, it's literally exactly like Duncan, Idaho. And then, of course, the cool musical number. It's like a 2000s animated movie, so you have to have a cool musical number.
Yeah, pretty. I was like, oh, I didn't realize. As soon as, like, Shrek and Fiona are like, no, let's just stay as ogres. I'm happier this way or whatever. After she died. What happens to Prince Charming here? Does he just get arrested?
He stays at the party.
Oh, he does, right?
Yeah,
okay, he doesn't. So he's not punished in any way, really.
Stays at the, he's punished by being with that ugly fucking woman.
Yeah, they kiss. Oh, yeah.
That literally is kind of like his punishment. Yeah. Like, he gets a little joke where he has to kiss an ugly lady.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you thought you were going to make this woman into a beautiful woman? No, fuck you. You kiss an ugly woman.
That's fucked up.
That's pretty funny.
The ugly stepsister. Anyways, yeah, you get the Live in La Vida Loca, fucking...
epic as hell.
It is epic.
Epic as hell.
And yeah, that's the end of the movie, pretty much. But what I'm gonna say was, it goes right into the... After they're like, okay, we're happy, we're gonna stay ogres.
We choose to be ogres.
Pretty much exactly, again, like the end of part 1. Like when she transforms into an ogre and they're like, yeah, we're happy this way. Yeah.
They just start breaking it down.
Yeah, it has... Yeah, because there's the musical number at the end of part 1 also. Exactly the same, goddamn. But yeah,
but this ending is epic as hell.
Oh, I think it's better than
Shrek and Donkey
it's better than the All-Star song at the end.
So good.
Yeah, I like that kind of their... Because Shrek and Donkey and fucking Puss in Boots, they don't like each other for a majority of the movie, but then they end that kind of their moment where they come together.
And they connect through Shrek, and they're like, you know what, let's break it down.
Yeah, I do like it a lot.
That's so epic.
It is.
God, yeah. Well, anything else to say about Shrek 2, Evan?
Greatest sequel of all time. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
not really.
Of course, the MCU-esque post-credits, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
With Donkey's Babies, that was funny, as I mentioned, but we talked about it already. Yeah, greatest sequel ever made. Greatest sequel ever made.
Do they have Shrek and Fiona? Do they have their children already in part 3, or is that the end of part 3?
I think Shrek is worried about it in part 3,
and then at the end is when they have it. Yeah, okay,
and then
that's
Shrek 4 has the kids.
Yeah. Shrek kids are ugly as fuck.
I know. They're uglier than like Shrek and like they're ugly as fuck. They're disturbing looking.
All the babies are disturbing.
They look like Cabbage Patch Kids.
They do.
But like ugly.
No, the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, Garbage Pail Kids. That's what they look like.
That's fucked up. But yeah, Shrek 2. Pretty short episode. Didn't have a lot to say.
Cool fucking movie.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool fucking movie.
Yeah.
Evan, can I ask you a cool question where we can compare and or contrast Shrek?
Okay.
Would you say Shrek 2 is better than any of the Toy Story movies?
Would I say Shrek 2 is better than any of the Toy Story movies?
Yes.
Yeah, better than part 4.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Yeah.
I mean the good ones.
1 through 3? No.
None of them.
No, Toy Story 1 through 3 are just all, like, perfect to me. I love those.
They are pretty epic.
Yeah.
That's the next cool animated CG franchise we should do.
We should, yeah.
Because Toy Story is actually, like, pretty... Both of us are pretty connected.
Yeah. It's very hefty in themes, I would say.
It's very epic in themes. There is a lot to talk about with Toy Story, though.
I agree.
We can get into it one day when we do those. But I love the idea of...
I would like to do all 3 of them, honestly.
Me too.
Yeah, that'd be
yeah. There's only 3, so...
Yeah.
That'd be cool. But I love the idea in, like, the whole... like religion, parenthood, weird allegory. It's like it's never 100% because it's like that relationship doesn't exist in real life in an actual like two-way kind of way. Like kids do obviously have a relationship with their toys.
Yeah.
But it's like when you make that like a two-way relationship, what does that look like? Like is it like religion? Is it like parenthood and a kid or adulthood or like, what the fuck is it? So that would be interesting to talk about. I really like that about Toy Story. It's like a made-up relationship that like doesn't exist in real life.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I agree.
But yeah, I would say Shrek 2, very epic. One of the best animated sequels, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Even if it's not better than I might like it better than Toy Story 3, to be honest.
Well, I know you aren't as hot in Toy Story 3.
I do like it a lot.
Yeah.
But Shrek 2 is just epic. Like, you can't deny Shrek 2.
Toy Story 3 is amazing, though.
It is.
Lotso is a great villain.
He is.
But he might be the weakest villain.
Fucking, yeah, because there's only 3, so.
Yeah. Well, besides part 4, obviously. But I mean of the trilogy. Because, I don't know. I feel like Lotso actually is more villainous. Kind of, in ways. Or he's at least given more to do, I think, than at least Sid or Stinky Pete.
Well, Sid isn't even really a villain.
But he is the villain of
he's
part
like
one.
an antagonist, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But he's not like a villain.
But I would consider him like the villain of part one.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
He is, but there's an element of Stinky Pete or Lotso where it's like, oh no, they're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Whereas Sid is just like an antagonistic kind of force.
Stinky Pete is just, he's too iconic for me to say like, oh, Lotso is better than him. You know what I mean?
Stinky Pete is
he's just awesome, yeah.
And I like the element of Toy Story 2 where it's like, oh, this isn't a Toy Story 2 episode, but I love the element of like Woody's backstory, and it's like, oh, these are collectibles.
Yeah,
Like what do collectibles act like as like real toys? And
yeah.
shit, like when they're alive. So yeah, Toy Story 2 is fucking badass.
And should you play with toys? Are they meant to be collectibles? That's a big question. We might get into that when we talk about part 2.
Me and Evan have a lot of heated arguments about that.
That's something interesting to talk about. That's something you really, weirdly enough, you don't really think about. And as a kid,
movies, or?
No, when you're a kid, when you watch Toy Story 2, the whole collectors versus playing with your toy thing.
I thought about it.
I don't know, because I don't know, just because as a kid I was playing with my toys. It wasn't until when I got older where I was like,
you mean
these are collective, you know what I mean?
There was never a time where you were like, oh, should I keep this action figure?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Way, yes, but I just remember like watching like comic book like collector TV shows or whatever, and they'd be like, mint and package, and like, those dumbasses. Like, so, but yeah, those would be very exciting to talk about. But really, the reason I did mention is I think Shrek 2 contends with Toy Story 3, but yeah, I agree 1 and 2 are like way too epic.
Yeah.
To really compete. Or to have Shrek 2 compete with it. How do you think about Shrek 3?
It's okay.
Do you remember them being okay?
But I remember in the part 1 episode, the last time I watched part 3, I was thinking, oh, this is not so good.
Yeah.
And that was like, I don't know, like end of middle school, early high school or something.
I haven't seen Shrek 3 in a brick.
Well, I remember last time I watched, I was like, oh, this is not so great.
I do remember liking the Rumpelstiltskin in part 4.
Oh, God.
As a villain?
Part 4 was trash, in my opinion.
I don't think part 4 is good, but I remember liking Rumpelstiltskin, though.
Who's the villain in part 3? Oh, yeah, Prince Charming. the villain in 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have Cool Merlin and stuff.
Yeah.
What a great film.
It is.
Will we ever do Shrek 3?
We'll see.
Maybe when Shrek 5 comes out.
Yeah, we'll do it
Maybe
then.
when Shrek 5 comes out.
I'm excited for a Shrek 5, potentially. If
Shrek
they're
5.
actually going to make it. Well, no, Mike Myers, he's been cooking up, remember?
He's
been cooking up.
He's been in the stew, cooking up.
Yeah, he's been in there for a while.
Yeah, man, there's no way that's not going to be hot. No, I genuinely think Shrek 5, if or when it comes out, they're doing superheroes.
Maybe.
I think they're doing it. Or, like, if not superheroes, they're going to parody, like, franchises.
Yeah.
In, like, a very specific kind of way.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Yep. Cool takes.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like maybe they could make that story aspect in part 5, like, franchises. Like, maybe, like, all the fairy tales are being, like, adapted into, like, these fucking multiverse fucking...
That would be, like, some Toy Story shit, though.
You know what I mean?
The reboots make them change in their world or something. Like, that's silly.
I could see them maybe doing that. I don't know.
Or I could see them, like, doing something with the princesses, having their own franchises... as an in-world kind of thing, where there's like a Rapunzel trilogy or like like something like that.
They kind of do that a little bit in part 2.
Well, they drive through like the Hollywood Boulevard and there's like a Rapunzel house, and a Cinderella house.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not like a big thing, but it's like at least part of it.
Yeah, it's kind of baked in there. And of course, there's like they could parody that kind of Wreck-It Ralph thing that was viral.
Which aspect?
Where like. Vanellope and Wreck-It Ralph 2 like goes into the princess room and they're all in pajamas.
Oh yeah. You know what? That actually reminds me of the scene we were talking about though for part 3.
Yeah.
Or doesn't it?
Well, yeah, because like it's crazy to me that Disney didn't get on that Shrek wave until like 20 years later.
If Wreck-It Ralph's supposed to be like Shrek, I've never even seen it.
Not really. I mean, there's an element of it, but I mean, there is an element of Wreck-It Ralph's character kind of being Shrek-like, because he's like a bad guy who learns, like, he's not really that bad.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, that is like, the story, right? It's like, I'm the villain of the game, but I'm not actually bad.
Especially part 1.
Yeah.
More what I mean is, like, Disney didn't get on that wave of, like, making fun of themselves.
Oh, okay.
Or, like, acknowledging themselves in a certain way, because I wouldn't say that the scene with all the princesses in pajamas or whatever, that's not really parody, but it's like some Shrek kind-esque shit.
Yeah,
It's just surprising to me that they didn't get on that wave for many years. I guess that one movie with Amy Adams.
Which one is that?
It's like a movie where she's like in a cartoon and gets ripped into the real
Oh,
world.
fucking, what is it called? Enchanted? Yeah. I didn't see that shit.
I saw it in theaters, I remember. I did.
I feel like there's a lot of weird, like, late 2000s, early 2010s type Disney movies I just didn't see, and I feel like you saw a lot of them.
I did.
That I just didn't see.
I think I did, yeah. I used to live at the movie theater. I still try to when I can.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just, like, did you see Princess and the Frog? I still have not seen that to this day.
No, but I remember we were playing cool Disney radio on Spotify in the car or something. And I was like, oh, this is my jam.
Yeah,
it was playing Princess and the Frog. Every song in Princess and the Frog is fire.
I haven't heard, besides the one we listened to in the car, I've not heard them.
He said, when we're human,
yeah.
and we're gonna be, and the villain song and the intro song to New Orleans. All the music in that song.
Oh, I heard that one. Yeah.
They're all good. I have to watch that movie.
Yeah, I've heard it good.
I have to watch that movie, and plus I love 2D animation.
Isn't is she in that scene?
Tiana, yes.
She's in that
They're
scene,
all
right?
in it, basically.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think that they they have Brave, Tiana.
I remember Rapunzel was in
Rapunzel. I think even like Cinderella and
Did you like Tangled?
I didn't see Tangled.
Oh, you didn't see? I actually saw Tangled, but the reason I watched it was because Kingdom Hearts 3 was about to come out, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen Tangled, and that's a world in it. No, I was like, yeah, but Tangled was actually good. I liked it.
Yeah, I hear Tangled is like...
It was better than Frozen, in my opinion.
That's what I was going to say, is I hear it's way better than Frozen.
Yeah.
Frozen is some baby shit.
Yeah.
Real. Like, I mean, not to hate on Frozen too much, but it's definitely like... Tangled, I haven't seen it. I've definitely seen parts of it, but there's like commentary on like the love interest thing. That's like deeper than Frozen, where in Frozen it's fucking... It's like, oh, you thought we were in love? I'm the bad guy. But it's a little deeper in Tangled. It's kind of cool. So yeah, epic fairy tales, epic whimsy and Disney and all type of cool stuff. We have a cool time around here.
We do.
We have a cool time.
I would agree with that.
What do you give Shrek out of 11?
Out of 11?
Yeah.
I don't like that rating.
Give it out of 11.
Out of 11, like I guess if I'm trying to think how would I translate my rating out of 10 to out of 11.
Like 9 out of 10?
I would give a 9 out of 10, yeah, for the 10 rating. So I guess that would translate to like an 8.5 out of 11, something like that.
Wait, why would it be less?
I don't know. Would it be more?
The number's bigger. So
oh wait, yeah, I'm stupid. Bigger. Sorry. Yeah, it'd probably be like what, like a 9 point. Would it be 10 out of 11, something like that?
Okay.
Maybe a little less than 10.
I give it my classic 3 out of 3 stars.
But out of 10, I give it like a 9.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but part 1's like a 10 out of 10 to me.
I would say both of them are like pretty perfect.
They're both amazing, yeah. I would say if I had to give it the 3 rating, I would give them both 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So tune in next week where we will be talking about Mike and Molly season 1.
What the fuck is Mike and Molly?
It's a shitty sitcom.
Is that the one with Melissa McCarthy?
No, it's not.
What was that show with her?
Did she have a show?
Yeah, she had a sitcom.
Maybe it is Mike and Molly. I don't know.
That's something else. That's something else in some.
It's a stupid joke. Sorry, I brought it up.
We're gonna be talking about Frasier.
No, Evan, seriously. Can we talk about for one moment?
Yeah.
Since this episode is kind of short, what should we do next week?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
Let's have a cool think about it. What do you think? Moon Knight news?
Yeah.
Let's do a whole episode on Moon Knight news.
Can we do an episode on how you refused to get the Moon Knight MCU Marvel Legends figure?
Well, that's a little racy for our podcast. That's a little racy, but I don't know. Scream 5 episode.
Oh yeah, so good.
I'm not allowed to go to the movie theaters. My aunt won't let me go.
You're a grown man, bro.
But I told her, I was like, Tara, you better listen here and listen good. I'm going to see Batman.
That's in 2 months from now, anyways.
Well, I told her.
I'm going to see Morbius.
I said, I'm going to see fucking Morbius. I don't care whose life is at fucking stake.
You told her for real? You're like, I'm going to see Batman.
Well, I was like, I'll respect what you're saying, but I'm going in March.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm not going in March.
That's 2 months from now.
Well, it's really closer to like a month and a half.
I've seen some shit getting canceled, though, again.
I know.
So it's like, oh.
I really hope Batman doesn't get canceled.
What, delayed?
Or delayed.
No, they're just like, we're not putting the movie out.
They shit-can the whole movie. They're like, Ben Affleck is back.
I could see it happening, maybe, but hopefully not.
I'm leaning definitely more towards it not being delayed. because I think it's so close, and they've already. I think also Hollywood has learned that like
Morbius was so close. It was literally like 2 weeks away, and they delayed that shit.
Like, there's genuine like hype and buzz for Batman, and they've already run through their whole marketing campaign.
Yeah.
And I forget what movies it was.
I actually do think that rumor of them adding shit to Morbius could be true. After No Way Home, I can kind of see that maybe. Because I don't think it was because of COVID that they delayed it. I think they're like, okay, No Way Home did well. Let's like add some bullshit, like throw in some of the Amazing Spider-Man reference. I don't think it can be Andrew Garfield in it or anything like that.
Something similar to the Venom end credits.
Yeah, I think they might be doing that.
But I think they also realized too that really helped out Venom.
Yeah.
I think that did help out Venom a lot.
No, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. They're definitely doing that. Well, not definitely, but I mean, it could be a reason why it got delayed.
Very probable. So yeah, hopefully Batman don't get delayed.
Finger crossed.
Epic.
Yeah.
Epic. Do you have any cool housekeeping stuff? I wanted to thank you all for over 1,000 views on Audition.
Yeah, that's awesome. That made me really happy.
Yeah,
when I sent you that message the other night, I was actually like genuinely happy about that.
That's really dope. And you know we're up another 100 already?
No, I didn't. I don't know why that episode's been doing so well. It just makes me happy to see it.
I really got to do some fucking deep dive, like analytical look at like the metadata on that one and figure out what made that pop off. But
I'll take it. It makes me very happy.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So if you
to see that we have something that made it cross the 1K view line, I don't know. I'm like, that's fucking sick.
It's a nice little little shot in the arm.
Yeah.
Like, it's a nice little boost where it's like, okay, at least one thing like did a little stand out. You know?
It did some.
We did a little something. We did lose a subscriber, so fuck you, whoever you are.
And it's okay.
You know, we had 33, we have 32 now.
I know, but views over subs.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily, that's way more important because we know a big chunk of YouTubers that have many subscribers and no views.
Yeah, so if there's the views, I'll take it.
Well, here's your call to action. We should start doing that in the beginning because it works.
We really do. Yeah, we really do.
We should start doing that in the beginning because it works. But if you did listen this far, first of all, we appreciate the retention and your listening. But also, please leave a like if you want.
Please.
If you enjoyed this cool episode. And if you, clearly we're fucking lost. We don't know what to do next week. So if you have any cool thoughts on what we could do next week.
We'll figure it out.
Leave a comment. We'll figure it out through your comment.
Yeah. Andy's gonna comment and be like, do fucking something we don't want to do.
Andy loves our
He can be like,
Andy.
Do Harry Potter, do Saw, something
yeah, he's gonna tell us to do like the entire franchise of something. We can't do that, Andy. We spent 4 hours on Spider-Man 2.
Oh no, he's gonna write fucking do Bong Joon-ho's filmography. That's what he's gonna write.
That was a cool idea though. We should do a cool little series.
I'm not invested in him enough to want to do a whole series on his movies.
Parasite and what's it called?
I don't even want to do a Parasite episode. And Parasite's amazing. It's a great movie.
It's not
something I want to talk about for 2 hours.
Me either, and it's also kind of too recent.
Yeah.
And it's like...
It's not even necessarily that for me. It's just like, I feel like everything that there is to say about Parasite has been said.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it was such an acclaimed movie, and it was so talked about. There's so many video essays on it already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, because Audition is pretty old, where I'm sure, like, a lot of the shit we said had been said already, but it's like... It had some breadth, and some of it was like our own unique takes on it, because there's like a certain amount of distance from when it came out.
Yeah, and also it's not even on the same level. Parasite was huge.
Right.
It was like everybody loved that movie.
Well, yeah,
you know
Best Picture.
Yeah. So.
But anyways, yeah, we'll figure out something to do next week, and thank you guys again for watching.
Thank you, and have a good one. And don't forget to be kind.
Don't forget to. I mean, I think
Who did I steal that from?
Don't forget to be kind.
Who did I steal that from?
Is that from Shrek?
No. I stole that from like some YouTuber.
Don't forget to be kind. I saw that recently. What is that from?
There's probably like 10 YouTubers who say that, like, be kind to each other. And they're like a piece of shit.
Yeah, and they're just racist. You forget something, Evan.
What?
What's our cool dilly fact?
I didn't forget. It's just like, I never come prepared for this. I'm like, it's always going to be me looking at your shelf and saying something. I always want to have a deep cut, but like, I can just never.
Well, think of like 6th grade or something.
6th grade? Okay, this like, it's a cool Dylan fact, but it kind of pertains to me and Andy as well. But it pertains to you, but it pertains to us as well. In the 6th grade, after leaving,
oh God.
What? I guess it was orchestra.
This relates to Shrek 2.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Okay, continue.
Me and Andy would see Dylan in the hallway, and we would run away from him.
Yeah. They would run away from me, and it would make me feel bad.
Looking back, that's really mean.
It's
That's some little
mean.
kid shit, and that's mean as fuck.
And I already, like, I didn't have any friends. You guys were my only friends, so I just had to be alone. Like, the one time where I could have not been alone, I still had to be alone.
Me and Andy would see Dylan, we ran away.
That's mean as hell.
It is mean, it's really mean.
And that relates kind of to
the Puss in Boots and Shrek thing.
Yeah, because the way, when Evan was watching the movie earlier, in the scene where Shrek and Puss in Boots are kind of saying little jokes to each other and, like, looking at Donkey and laughing, like, Andy and Evan would do that shit to me on Picto Chat.
I was gonna say, yeah, there was one sleepover we had. It was when you were living at your mom's place.
Yeah.
And when we slept over there, me and Andy, we went on Picto Chat. We just started writing shit. And you were like, you couldn't be involved on it, because I don't think you had a DS at the time.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, like, Picto Chat was a little chat feature on the DS.
Yeah.
The Nintendo DS.
It was cool as fuck.
It was
Chat was
fun.
awesome, yeah.
It was cool, but yeah, I didn't have one at the time.
And then me and Andy were just writing shit on Picto Chat, and we were like laughing, so Dylan could see us fucking talking on Picto Chat.
And it was exactly like that scene in Shrek. And when that's what I was saying too, is earlier when you were watching the movie, you were like, "This is like us in Picto Chat."
That's so mean.
That is so mean.
It is mean. I feel bad about the hallway thing, genuinely.
Well, you know what? I forgive you.
But I was like, looking back, I'm like, that's some little kid shit. That's so mean.
That's mean as hell.
Like fucking, what did we watch recently? Or what did I watch? No, like fucking Cobra Kai with like Kenny. That's some Kenny shit.
Yeah, that is some Kenny shit. They'd be mean to him.
Yeah.
He got milked.
He got milked. Poor guy.
Evan,
You never got milked.
I didn't never get milked, but I did get dilked.
Yeah. That makes me think. Maybe my cool Dylan fact next week will be another traumatic elementary school memory for you.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know, would you want me to expose that?
Do whatever you want.
Maybe that'll be the cool Dylan fact next week.
I already gave you permission to say, like, my most intimate secret.
I can't do that to you.
You know the one I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, but I can't.
See, that's called a hook. So
maybe that'll be the final episode. That'll be our breakup episode when I say that at the end.
Whenever we have like let's legit, like, once we get like 1,000 subs or like a pretty substantial milestone, we can do that one. So if you want to hear my most intimate fucking disgraceful secret, hit like, subscribe, share the video.
Didn't we talk about this in the episode already?
No.
I thought you revealed it already.
We
in
talked
the episode.
about something relating to it, but we didn't talk about it.
Okay, I thought you actually like already exposed yourself.
No, I didn't.
What the?
Is that Andy?
That's scary.
Is that Andy?
Okay, for the RNS listeners, there's a little knock on Dylan's window just now.
Wait, what the fuck?
So yeah, we just saw our friend Andy.
Well, yeah, Andy knocked on the cool my window of my bedroom. We were gonna have him pop in real quick, but he's walking his cool dog with his beautiful girlfriend. So.
What a way to end the episode. That timing was too perfect.
I know, it was right when we were about to wrap it up. So, Shrek 2 Epic. Thank you for your support. Subscribe for my cool secret, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.